Welcome to the Nest Show, the podcast that brings you insights into the crypto market, trading and investment experiences, and what we're looking forward to as we navigate the space together. Before we get started with the show, I want to thank our friends and sponsors over at Prime XBT, where many of our listeners have already signed up to trade by visiting the birbnest.com/PrimeXBT. Now we're excited to reward you with a very special offer brought to you by our friends at Prime. Visit the announcement channel on our Discord to learn how you can receive a one-time trading bonus equal to 50% of your deposit amount. Exciting times indeed. Prime XBT is the most powerful trading platform offering immediate access to over 30 assets. Users may trade cryptocurrencies, forex, commodities, stock indices, and much more, all from a single Bitcoin settled account. Prime XBT gives experienced traders up to 100x leverage to multiply their capital while also providing users with multiple order types, low trading fees, and ultra high liquidity to equip them with a one-of-a-kind trading experience. Registration does not require any user information, so visit the link below and start trading on Prime XBT in minutes. You'll be hearing much more about Prime XBT here and why we're so excited about the products they already offer, including a one-of-a-kind BTC and Ethereum options trading platform called Turbo, and an upcoming co-vesting product that will give traders and investors alike an entirely unique opportunity to multiply their capital. We're excited to congratulate the Prime XBT team on a couple of project milestones, starting with the launch of direct crypto purchases with the use of credit and debit cards. To learn more about how to purchase crypto on the Prime XBT platform using debit or credit cards, visit Prime XBT today for a complete walkthrough. Also, we want to regard Prime for their progress integrating TradingView chart technology into their charting platform and their continued progress with the co-vesting module that will allow traders to mirror the activity of other traders. To find out more about the extensive progress of the co-vesting build-out, visit the Prime XBT blog for the most up-to-date information. And now for the show. What the Nest Show is. This is a podcast brought to you by the Birb Nest community, an independent crypto and forex-centered trading community built to sharpen each other in capturing opportunities in the markets while protecting capital along the way. What this is not: trading advice. We are not financial advisors, and you should not regard any information here or in the Nest Club as financial advice. You should always consult a licensed financial advisor before making any financial decisions.
That was amazing, Ben, with his amazing intro. And credits for our official partner of Prime XBT, to the Birb Nest. And let's kick it off as we should, right? Okay, then, how about we start off with Bitcoin, right? Today's main, focus should be, concerned around Bitcoin altcoins. Obviously, as always, we could have a look at legacy markets if that's what you want. And I'm actually just going to let you know about our early, not even early, but just, it is early Birb, just article that we've just released. I haven't published that yet on Twitter. So you guys will be the first ones to actually just visit that. It's going to be about Fibonacci tools. I'm going to later let you know how to find it. Right, Josh says, please say India. I think I just did. I think that's okay. But of course, many Indian people in here. That's awesome. Okay, then, how about I just share the screen with you guys, and we go to the charts and see what's cooking, right? Hope that's okay with you. And as always, throughout the entire session, you're more than welcome to go to the Q&A section, okay, on top, next to the chat, and any sort of technical questions, okay, just the way that Giovanni did already, make sure to put them in there, okay? So here's your chart request and Q&A section. Boom. Sent. Okay. Hello, first joining a webinar. Just want to commend your tremendous value you and your team provide. Thanks. You're more than welcome, man. That's all for you guys. I'm very happy you like it. And that's it, guys. There is so much, fucked up stuff going on in the world, right? I've always wanted to. Actually, Bagsy already knows about it because actually, last time we were in Vegas in October, I guess, or November it was. We, had a couple of good talks, about the world, just the way we live. And I keep repeating, there's so much evil and so much fucked up, just stuff going all around the planet that I always try to actually contradict it. I want to go, the other way. I want to actually help spread the goodness, okay? Spread the help and then just any positivity that I can get instead of, spreading all the hate and all this fucked up emotions. That's pretty bad inside if everybody just does it, right? Okay, I think if I share the screen, okay, you should be able to see the chart, right? Let me know very quickly if it's all visible to you, okay? What we have displayed in here is 4-hour charts and 4-hour chart comparison, for how it looks, well, for Bitstamp, for spot price, and for futures price, okay, and CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And as you know, Chicago Mercantile Exchange doesn't operate within or during the weekend, so this is most likely going to close within next, 4 hours, that is? Or, at the midnight, let's just see. What would it close? It's closing, it says it's closing in 5 hours, I guess, right? The daily close comes in 5 hours. So one way or another, I was actually commenting on the similarities and differences, yesterday already about, between the spot price and the futures price. But what's what's actually funny is that these charts look quite different. Okay, this looks completely different. and if somebody just drew the charts for me, okay, out of many, and covered the names and the stickers, and I mean the tickers, I would not be able to tell these are the same charts. Okay, I would say these are strongly correlated, but these are not the same charts. And there is a difference for that, and there is the reason for that, of course, because spot price is an actual price of this main is the actual price of the main asset, okay, that we trade, while the futures, okay, this is not asset price. This is price of a contract, okay, for an underlying asset. And futures, after it expires, after the contract settles, only then you become the owner for the underlying asset, okay? So until the contract realizes, okay, now you're not the owner of Bitcoin, per definition, at least, right? Although you do have some perpetual contracts, you do have CFDs, contract for differences, like there are many other derivatives, including options, swaps, swaptions, and whatnot, okay? And that the main conclusion, the main thing I want you to notice is that these charts can differ, okay? It's not necessarily 100% looking alike, just, 100% of the time. And this is a perfect example for that. This entire drop, right? See when it happened. You don't see this chart drop, this Bitcoin drop over the futures, right? And of course, this was the case for the candle close and open, because actually it happened on the weekend, on Sunday, last Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, I guess, right? One way or another, I kept talking yesterday about the importance of, I'm not going to kind of like repeat all of that, but I was talking and spending quite some time on explaining why I do think this huge drop, just the same way it happened, or a similar mechanism it brought on March 15th this year, okay, such instant drop, flash drop, whatever, big move, okay, causes something that I call PTSD effect on the market, okay? Because this huge drop brings tons of liquidations, okay? As far as I can remember, it was about, $1 billion worth of liquidations within this single drop, okay, on this session. And this means that lots of people got liquidated, lots of people got out of the market, they got forced being squeezed out of the market. And it simply takes time, just the same way it did take time, for Bitcoin on March 15th, okay, to start trading in a bit more predictable way, okay, in a way that I would call more technical, more predictable again, right? I wouldn't call that efficient, because markets are not efficient by definition. Okay, these are just like strategies, mixed with emotions. Okay, and emotions are about irrationality and efficiency. This is what pushes people, to the limits, to making bad decisions, and so on and so forth. But all I mean, the main conclusion to derive from that is definitely that, any sort of like big movement, it makes the market go crazy and mad and unpredictable, with lots of different moves, lots of different unexpected swings, twists, whatever, you name it. Much more than when you compare that with a regular market without such flash drops. That's what I mean, right? So don't expect any actual clear technicals that you can see, any like patterns, any clear 100% working ways that you could apply for that, because the market is right now extremely inefficient, it's extremely irrational. Okay, at least, I mean, of course, it kind of like settles down over the time as the time passes by. And that's the main point, right? You just want to give the market time to relax, to actually recover from that PTSD effect, okay? Post-traumatic like stress disorder, whatever, until it gets back to the normal trading. And for Bitcoin, it takes a couple of days, okay? A couple of days, or, a couple of weeks, but more often than not, like from what I kind of like noticed, it takes between 4 and 10 days, okay, until the market becomes more again. When there is a pattern, then you can kind of like assume that pattern is going to bring some significance, okay? Otherwise, again, it's nothing else than just consolidation, and consolidation is lacking the direction, okay? And it won't, any chart pattern you see within the consolidation is lacking the momentum. Per definition, this is what sideways trend is, okay? So you don't expect, when you see a triangle, let's say symmetrical triangle, right? It's somewhere in the, in a range, we can even put it in here, right? Whenever Bitcoin starts, just trading and shaping some symmetrical triangle, whatever, okay? It may happen that it just goes like fucking that, okay? You would not necessarily expect typical classical, breakout retest effect or breakdown retest, whatever, okay? You would see complete fuckery going on. And this is because of the market, again, being in a process of recovering from this PTSD effect, as I did call that, okay? But yeah, that's definitely, very interesting that, to what extent this chart looks different when compared, with the actual CME charts, okay? And the most important part of that all, okay, you can again draw some sort of like trend lines or whatever, but within such big, I guess, changes and differences, when compared with spot price, I would be very, I would say, cautious, okay? And I will not trust that 100%. So to me, if I'm personally not a short-term trader for Bitcoin, okay? So I wouldn't day trade that, simply because of the way I play. But any short-term traders, any day traders, intraday scalpers, whatever, they should be raised to the peak of their awareness that whatever they do is bearing much greater probability of actually losing, because, if the market goes sideways, okay, or it goes consolidation, any sort of like consolidation, and this type of movement, okay, this contracting consolidation to an extent, okay, that this is something that we could call a rising wedge. Okay, this is something that we technically could apply as a rising wedge. That again is some sort of consolidation. It's not sideways per se, okay, but it expresses still the market losing the momentum. And that's the idea of consolidation, right? Consolidation occurs because market loses momentum. So huge pump in here, right? Just the way I was talking, as one of the few on Twitter and whatnot about the Bitcoin, just breaking out to the upside rather than downside, just like 99% of people will tell you on Twitter. And this form of consolidation, if the trend is up, basically speaking, if the trend is up, and it's up on, it's still up on a daily, although it's already overbought to an extent. But if the trend is on great momentum, okay, it may happen that it oscillates in the overbought area for a long time, okay, just the way it did, for example, over here, right, or over here, or wherever when Bitcoin was trading around 14K, okay, you would see few months, okay, or should I say a few weeks to say at least, okay, of overbought price action. So the lower it gets, okay, from the overbought like distance, the more distance it is to the downside from the overbought area, the better opportunity for you to buy it becomes. Okay. And if we apply some clear technicals, you're going to notice that the key support is located at 10.5. Okay. Then because it's the prior range high. Okay. And again, any sort of like chart pattern, it doesn't matter if it's symmetrical triangle, if it's, if it's pennant, bull flag, or, especially when it's sideways, okay? When it's classical range, of course, right, of equal highs and equal lows. And when it's inverse head and shoulders or head and shoulders or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is because it is form of consolidation. It is sideways, and you measure the sideways per the actual base size, that is the distance, okay, between the high and the low, the extremes, okay, for the entire consolidation. It's not surprise that it's not hard to tell when you zoom out that this was an uptrend and that this is not an uptrend anymore, right? This is not uptrend. Simply, it goes flat. And it goes actually, like if you apply and measure for the highs, whether they make a sequence of just advancing highs or declining highs or lows, okay, you would see some sort of like weird triangular structure, but I would not truly dare to call that triangle per se, okay. And again, it doesn't matter because what it is, it's still the consolidation territory that's spread between the high and the low of mark for the consolidation, right? That's again, it doesn't matter what some sort of like beautiful shape it provides us with, okay, it's going to still be this range high and range low, actually the other way around. That's going to be crucial for us, right? And that's what I said. I would not dare to short and to buy anything around the range highs, right? Or sell anything around the range lows. I would still more focus, okay, on selling the range highs and buying the range lows is the only short-term opportunities that I would dare to have, okay? If you go and see, MA 200 average, okay, is going to get you support around 10K, MA 100 at around 10.8, 10.5, 11.5 would get you, or 11.4, whatever, around MA 50 for our chart, okay. But still, what's significant on the larger scale, on the huge macro scale, okay, is going to be actual I would say market outlook, okay? The market outlook. And the truth is that we broke to the new highs. We made a higher high, okay? We made a higher high, and that's what's significant. and that's what's significant. And this higher high, well, best of course if it holds this area as the new support, right? Just following classical polarity change principle that, again, broken resistance turns into the support when it consolidates below the resistance and it breaks out, okay? And the polarity flips truly only when the support is held, when the new level on the prior resistance turns into the support effectively, okay? So again, on the CME chart, you would not see what you saw on spot price. That is what I still think, because CME, the reason I'm watching CME chart is because it's institutional exchange. Okay, minimum unit to trade, okay, for futures is like one contract, and one contract stands for 5 Bitcoins. So we don't have 5. If you don't have 5 Bitcoins, you're not even allowed to put any money on this exchange. It's most often, or more often than not, for big just funds, for hedge funds, trusts, whatever, okay, to trade. And that's what I think, and I love watching CME for comparison, and just compare that with the spot price, because there's often quite a difference in price the way you see it right now. The pricing for futures is 11,755, while for spot it's 11,751. Okay, it's $100 difference. While 2 days ago it was 200 or 300 bucks, difference. And when the futures is more expensive than spot price, it means nothing more than nothing less than the contango situation. Okay, something that we call contango. And the opposite way, and I mean, still on that, contango is more often than not bullish. Okay, when the futures is more expensive, it leads, because of the institutional, again, for Bitcoin, for the institutional money trading higher, evaluating Bitcoin price to be higher and greater than the spot price, it more often than not makes Bitcoin just follow up on the spot price. That's what it did. Okay, when Bitcoin price on the CME was trading at, well, you can see that, okay, when it was trading around like 11.56, okay, the spot price was 11.2, 11.3, and boom, it actually followed perfectly, okay, or almost perfectly, because on well, again, another difference, right? On daily chart, it would make, I guess, it would make, actually it tapped 12.80, right? So it's somewhat, just made it equal to this week that was not present, for Bitcoin previously on the spot price. I mean, on the futures, right? So this entire period, to me, especially after this effect, is generating arbitrage opportunities. Okay, and these arbitrage opportunities, that's what it always do, for contango. And the opposite version of contango, that is backwardation, when the futures is less expensive, is cheaper than a spot. Okay, then more often than not, it's short and bearish, because again, it generates the arbitrage opportunity. Okay, and well, it takes time for the market to catch up with one another to an extent. Okay, and sooner than later, the price tends to go balanced. It tends to go equal between the exchanges as much as possible. Okay, so again, let's dive in very quickly, or should I say before? Let's see. Let's see what's cooking in the Q&A section. Okay, there are no new questions. But that's fine. Okay, I'm actually going to cover the Q&A in a section, in a second. But if we go and dive into the structure of this local dump on Bitcoin, okay, how it looks. Okay, so we can already tell that it was some liquidity hunt, more likely. Okay, if such moves happen on 1 minute chart, it should not be taken literally, okay, into consideration. it might have been some big whale money. I mean, this is whale money, okay? No small peanut money is going to move the market by $400, okay? This had to be some sort of like big sell-off, most likely some bot sell-off, or simply market sell, okay, coming from some larger position. And let's actually very quickly have a look if it stays the same, if it's the same effect on the Coinbase, on other exchanges. And it actually is only to an extent, right? It is only to an extent because it's quite, how to call that? Quite a difference, I guess, $200-300, right, on this dip. So this is what happens on less liquid exchanges that, again, Bitstamp, Coinbase at times gets. Okay, so for full picture and true evaluation of Bitcoin price, okay, across the markets, you are more than suggested to watch not only spot price, okay, versus dollar, or even more, versus USDT, for example, that is derivative of dollar. It's not dollar, okay? It's pegged to dollar 1-to-1, but it's not dollar. It's not real fiat currency. So again, it has own fluctuations, okay? Own inner fluctuations that also still represent, the price movement for Bitcoin. But one way or another, what I think, it actually, weeks like that happen on Bitstamp from time to time. So this is not something new to me. And when it always when it happens like that for Bitstamp, to see big drop, okay, that is not present on other exchanges, I would prefer to, first of all, short-term switch the exchange to Coinbase, okay, or from Coinbase to Bitstamp, or from Bitstamp to Coinbase, the other way around, whatever. But this is just going to show you a bit more, I should say, a real situation. And to me, the real situation is that we tapped the range lows, okay, of the local movement, And if we compare that, on 15-minute chart, okay, for futures, again, you would see something different, because this is going to look differently. So there are kind of like, quite differences, right? There are quite some differences. And again, this fake out, right? I call that fake out. Well, it's technically not the cleanest SFP, just the way you would call that, swing failure, right? Because it actually, this candle, just dropping candle, did not close above the broken support. Okay, it closed below, but still the candle right after. Okay, this entire zone of price just simply makes it short-term demand. Okay, so I want to see, to make it to continue trading inside the range and to call that just a fake out, I want to see some retest of it, okay, that's held as a support. Okay, then later it continues again, most likely to the mid-range, right? Mid-range levels that for this tiny consolidation on 15-minute chart, okay, is going to be around 11.8. Okay. But yeah, this is just pure consolidation, right? For now, this remains a fake out. And as long as it remains a fake out, this was a buying opportunity, and any fake out is a buying opportunity. It is a fake out because of large money buying. Okay, so again, the main conclusion for Bitcoin is that it's not fucking safe right now, simply. And when it's not safe, when it's not predictable, when TA is, as you can tell, all over the place on different exchanges, then why would you attempt to be smarter than those who make the market? Okay. Why don't you just wait? Why don't you just wait and make it, more stabilized? But again, if we apply this entire, range analytics, let's say, okay, you're going to notice that the mid-range level is located around, 11.3. Okay, it's 11.3. The range low at 10.5, range high 12.1. Okay, so the extremes are kind of like similar. Bitstamp against Bitstamp against the dollar in here. Let's just quickly have a look. Okay. Chris is saying, so TA is difficult now. Well, things are difficult, man. Things are always difficult, but that's why I keep learning, right? That's why I keep learning. And nothing is simple. Like making money is fucking difficult, right? It's like there is a reason why 1% of this entire fucking planet just owns most of the capital, right? Not many of your neighbors you'll find rich, okay? Just on average, unless you're rich, you live in some rich, hometown, whatever. Okay, then. So with that all in mind, again, we can try to apply some sort of like technical analytics to that, but I would not necessarily trust that 100% because of the PTSD effect, just the way I said. Okay, so you would see the range high and range low. You would see consolidation, and any sort of like consolidation is only playable to me, okay, outside the pattern. So I would not necessarily, unless the range is fucking huge, okay, I will not dare to play what's inside the pattern while, it's just lacking the direction, okay? It's lacking the direction, it's lacking the momentum, the pressure. So best to wait for the breakout retest to press any longs, okay? Or best to press short only if it provides you with breakdown retest, okay? The retest here is extremely important because it can easily otherwise just, again, fake out the move, okay? Just to grab the liquidity. And this liquidity hunts happen all over the less liquid assets, right? Less liquid markets. And this is the way of accumulating or just, distributing for larger money to trap people, because this is zero-sum game. Like for large money for the market makers and whales to actually, sell a lot, they will need a lot of buyers. Okay, so that what they can do is they can make people buy because they see a breakout that they read in a book that this is bullish. Okay, and when everybody does, they actually can dump millions of dollars, okay, on you, just to later fake out and break down this entire pattern, whatever that was supposed to be bullish. Okay, so at least knowing that this is consolidation, okay, this PTSD effect turns into consolidation for Bitcoin. It's lacking. You need to recall and memorize that it's lacking the direction. That's the first rule. This means that any chart pattern is not going to be necessarily reliable. But so with that already in mind, I would only just want to press longs here. Okay, if it breaks out retest and makes the retest in some sort of like a consolidation for further upside, okay. And again, technicals will get you the actual target, based on the measured movement. Based on the measured movement measuring rule, whatever you name it. Okay, that is spread between the extremes. Okay, so technically speaking, okay, if we break out retest on this larger range, it's going to get you around 14K targets. Okay, which again, to me, also later, just a matter of time. But if it breaks down, okay, and it consolidates and it respects this broken support that flipped into resistance, okay, and it consolidates in some form of like a bearish pennant, bear flag, whatever, it would technically mean that you could expect downside movement, okay, of 400 backs size that will get you to the actual retracement level of 62% of down to, between 62% and 79% of overall retracement regarding and measured from the top to the bottom. Okay, and this is going to get you, this area is going to get you the buying opportunity. Okay, for short term and for mid term at least. So that's what I can tell and see. That's what I can tell and see. But as long as it stays inside the range, it's not going to be attractive to trade. As I said, I'm going to answer the chart questions only that are placed in the Q&A section, right? I want to be fair towards everybody and appreciate those who actually listen to what I say. IOTA BTC, let's quickly have a look at IOTA or IOTA, whatever you name it. Well, I actually have the chart, right? I have had the chart already. So let's just have a look. Okay. It's looking quite nice. It's not looking bad. Okay, it's still looking in this long-term consolidation, just the way I keep telling, right? Of the momentum on the weekly is is a bit of consolidating on the slightly more bearish side for long term right now, but it can easily flip because this is still consolidation, right? And I still think, accounting the technicals alone, okay, this is quite bullish, right? As long as it's held for the MA50, this orange little one, okay, as long as these levels are held, I think, this is quite likely. This is quite likely because, again, this is some sort of consolidation, right? The consolidation is measured between the extremes. While the linear chart would show a bit different story, the actual price ascends, okay? So you could apply the price ascends here and make it, I guess, like orange, whatever, to see the real valuation and the meat of this entire movement, right? Rest is just a wiki area of liquidity hunts. But still, I think, as long as it holds the MA50, I think this is safe. I think this is good, right? And it's still aiming towards, by definition, even of lower count of 50 weeks, 50-week averages, just held. The next one, right, technically would be the confluence area between the range highs, okay, and the MA100. And that's what I would anticipate. On daily, it's looking bullish, alignment of stochastic and histogram TK derived from Tenkan Kijun out of Ichimoku. 12 hours is bullish per momentum. 4 hours is bullish, although soon correction. Hourly is slightly correcting, right? Hourly seems to be slightly correcting. But yeah, one way or another, I think that's what I would anticipate, right? That's what I would anticipate. Yeah, so let it and again, just as any range, right? If it gets you the buying opportunity around the range lows, you just buy that. Let's quickly have a look at the next ones. I'm going to try to have most of them. Scared of BTC weakness of today. Do you think it can lose 10.5k support and start a new monthly downtrend? Like, there is no monthly downtrend, mate. Monthly is an uptrend. Monthly is an uptrend. Monthly is the bullish, one of the most bullish it has ever been. Okay, there's no way it's bearish. Simply, right? The momentum has recovered this entire effect of this semi-bear market of 2019. Okay, since August to June or May 2020, it's all fully recovered, right? Like it's history. It's the past. Not after such fucking crazy close, just the way it would, it came on July, right? Long-term macro scale is super bullish. which means that any short-term dip, the larger it gets, it just gives you better entry, because you know that the momentum for the long term is set upwards, right? So it doesn't change all over the day. XTZ BTC 1 day, let's quickly have a look on that. By the way, guys, I keep repeating that, but if you actually go, the easiest way to always get and see, whether, or what actually, many people ask, what's my bias on that, on this and that, or you can get your bias extremely fucking easy. Okay, it's super easy to get. Like, I'm just having the spotlight right in front of me, so I don't see this. I guess this is the bottom. So if you go to and find the Bitcoin pair, right, and search for XTZ, you're going to see something like that. Okay, so what we can tell after current, well, especially after the recent dump on Bitcoin, okay, it made altcoins to correct heavily, and this is what makes this weekly currently to be set for bearish. It can easily change over the time, of course, but well, commenting on the bias, short-term bias is bearish, 4-hour bias is bearish, daily is neutral. Okay, these change over the time, but that's the bias we would be looking for. Okay, so I would not be, if it's mainly bearish, I would not necessarily search or consider longs to be the safest place to go to, per definition, right? So I would, I guess, as you recall, I had a couple of good trades also that I posted up publicly on Twitter, on thesis, right? Recently, yesterday, actually, I got stopped on this large downside movement. Okay, I got stopped on that. I mean, I still got very good decent profit because of this entire just rally up of 8-10%. But overall, I dislike current rejection of that. Okay, so you want to see, again, this is huge, some huge descending triangle in here. Okay, and this is no doubt about it. This is huge descending triangle, right? Descending triangle itself is a consolidation, and this is a long-term consolidation, right? So if you're a long-term trader, you would just wait naturally for the breakout retest for longs or breakdown retest for shorts. But if you're a short-term trader, okay, or medium-term trader at least, I want to right now, after this ugly reaction out of Bitcoin, I want to see for save longs, okay, to reclaim this complex set, okay, of 3 MAs that act as the resistance clearly. Okay, so to me, the difference between the actual price distance between 29 and 28 acts as a resistance, as a supply. So I want to see the supply reclaimed first to make it a good buying opportunity, most likely towards the range highs or, to the diagonal resistance. That's my view right now. Okay, but if you want to buy, well, I guess it's safer to wait for the range lows or area around the range lows, because, well, if it's bullish, if it's said to be bullish, okay, it needs to make higher low, and the lower it gets, the lower chances this makes that this is a higher low, and the bit more bearish it gets. So first, you want to see, for me, okay, I would not be interested for the next days, in the next days, to trade Teslas short term, okay, as long as it stays below the supply in here. You go, and first thing you see is sign up free that says free 7 trial days, okay, no commitments, and it's fucking true. You go to sign up free, you just place your email address, okay, you just place your name, mark out that you are not a robot, because we are not allowing fucking robots. Okay, and you get your free trial, and that's it. You activate it on Discord, and you have 7 days for free, complete 7 days free. And this is the way you can go and just have all of these contents, all of these channels. Okay, this Burbicator channel that would get you all the instructions on how to, on this masterclass on Burbicator, on how to trade using the Burbicator. All of these video reports that I make for people every single session that I analyze the Bitcoin report, right? all the Bitcoin reports in the written form, all the channels from our traders, market scanners, and this applies as well, for the legacy markets. You would see legacy scanner as well, right? For gold, for silver, for cotton, wheat, okay, copper, natural gas, and so on and so forth. Even if you go to the indices, you would see NASDAQ, okay, or SPX, and so on and so forth. So you go to the birbnest.com, you press sign up free, and it gets you 7 days free. I promise, nobody's going to charge you for a fucking penny, okay? Forget it, it's free. Okay then, so we have a couple more minutes to go. ALTS BTC. Let's just have a quick look, okay, on that. It's that ALTS BTC. Okay. Okay, so coin on KuCoin. Weekly is quite impactful on the momentum. It's a lot of wicks. It's a lot of liquidity, just movement. So I want to see a lack of liquidity, to be fair. So what I want to see the linear chart to see the actual valuation. Okay, and what I can tell is, well, it's shaping some sort of like a double bottom to me for the price ascents. Okay, so I could anticipate it would get you to retest around 14. What's that? 14,000 satoshis. If you go to the daily, okay. If you go to the daily, it's actually nicely confirmed setup, right? You had an accumulation. You had, again, another double bottom after the downtrend, which is fine. So again, gauging on the double bottom itself, okay, you can anticipate movement of this size of 3,000 sats. So it's close to the resistance area, I guess, or at least the the place that the target anticipated expires to an extent. Okay, so I will consider that short-term supply. The momentum is also in the overbought area, although it's not necessarily bearish yet. Okay. Last few sessions on the mid-daily chart is going to show you the consolidation because of the divergence between the stochastic and that's what I mean, right? There's a difference of the directional difference, I mean, between the stochastic and the histogram of TK, okay, momentum. Often can engage in oscillators, momentum. It made new high over here, which is bullish. So let it just consolidate a bit. Let it respect this one, okay, as a new support. Because otherwise, if it's broken, I'm going to anticipate, it throws back the price to around this area. So it would be quite a significant drop, okay, with the first stop at the MA50. For our short term, well, again, it does show, it is showing some sort of like a consolidation, right? This is not looking like an uptrend. So as I said, you want to see, for any consolidation, you want to see before you make any movement to see where the direction just follows. Okay. But yeah, that's the way I would see the actual setup for all ALTS BTC. But frankly speaking, I have no idea what it fundamentally is. Very quickly, QNT long term. Okay. QNT long term. Let's just have a very quick look. QNT long term. I guess it's Bitcoin price because it's not made it clear. Okay. Long term. So let's just go right away. It's looking bearish to me. Okay, it's looking bearish. It is holding. It is holding the MA support for now. So some short term like a demand, I guess. But I would not necessarily trust to buy a movement that actually recovered this, broke down and recovered fully, retraced after this huge buying candle. Okay, so to me the trend is locally reversed, especially that it made lower low. Okay, so perhaps some local pullback, right? But momentum is slightly set, is definitely set to the bearish side. Yeah, guys. I mean, I appreciate all of the questions, okay, in the chat, but it's impossible to answer and filter out, all the questions if it's not placed in the Q&A. As I said, come over to the premium, okay, for 7 days free, and you're going to have thousands of charts analyzed for you within a matter of minutes. It's not only from me, okay, but from my 15-person team. It's the largest team around. And this is one of the largest communities, one of the most reputable communities, and actually the only one that survived and grown so fucking much since 2017. But before I let you go, I want you to go to thebirbnest.com/blog, or just simply pick, the header. You just go and pick the blog, okay? It's going to show you all of our contents, right? All of my articles, reports, and whatnot. And this is our latest article on the Fibonacci tools, on Fibonacci retracement, Fibonacci extensions. And I think it's beautifully written by Crypto Penguin, okay, our amazing team member. Super talented guy, by the way. Super talented guy. So you make sure, okay, with the help of actually Crypto Yoda, also great guy, they made an amazing article on Fibonacci retracement tool, and extremely easy, okay, in explaining how it works. So you just go and read this article, okay? I'm going to post it here on the webinar sessions. I'm going to post it as well in here, okay? I'm going to pin that very quickly. But that's what I want you guys to have a look at, okay? It's free. On my website, on thebirbnest.com, you're going to see a fucking goldmine of free content, okay? This website, I mean, you can go there every single day of your life, okay? And it's going to get you so much, like, you're more than welcome to, review all of the aspects of that. And what you're going to get as our official, like, member, subscriber, and so on. But it's only for serious people, okay? We're not fucking around. So if you go to all the resources that we have, you want to go and get your free Nest letter. Okay, I love the name, by the way. I was super pressing towards having the name instead of newsletter, towards having the Nest letter. Okay, you put your name, you put your email, and you get it instantly on your mailbox. Okay, and it's going to get you a variety of free fucking amazing high quality content, okay, for traders. TA, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, gems, long-term, under the radar picks that nobody's going to tell you on Twitter. You get it all for free. And if you are too lazy to go and get your free content, okay, then there is no fucking way you ever make good money. I swear to God. And then all that I do and that I share is not necessarily for you, right? And you would do just better focusing on other activities than trading. That's true. So get your newsletter, and you're also going to get all the gold mine of our infographics. Like, people tell this is the highest quality infographics on crypto Twitter right now. Okay, and it's free. You just go right-click, download that, print that, put it on your wall, whatever. You also are welcome and encouraged to go and see and watch, whenever you get again some open webinar, you just want to go to watch your free webinar. You put your email and first name so we can contact you, and immediately you get that in your mailbox, okay, notification for the newest webinar. And you just watch all the prior webinars that are listed, and not every is listed, of course, because for our members, we hold at least one webinar a day, okay, with huge variety of podcasts that we do on the Nest show, again, Spotify, YouTube, any sort of like platform. When you combine that with blog, you can sit and read day in, day out, and become a way better trader and way better person than you came, okay, by just having it for free. And I'm not even mentioning this 7 days free that you can get, okay? You go 7 days free, sign up free, and you're going to get all of that whether you're going to stay or not, well, this is your choice. Nobody's going to chase you, right? And as I said, I'm not pressing anybody. I'm not going to chase anybody else's to join, right? It needs to be personal decision. That's it, guys. I really appreciate your coming. I'm very happy that you attended this webinar. And this is, well, all that I actually brought for you today. Make sure to just stay with me, right? On Twitter, make sure to stay with the Nest on Twitter. Make sure to come over and say hi on the premium. It's free. I swear to God, nobody's going to charge you for a penny, okay? I'm putting the stop over my screen sharing. Not sure if Bagsy is still around, but I'll make sure to hold one webinar, exclusive webinar with Bagsy. This is an amazing guy, one of the most talented guy on Twitter, I tell you that, right? So if you don't follow Bagsy yet, you go to the Birb Nest. Oh, well, I'm not sure you get Bagsy at thebirbnest.com, right? I just said that out of order of like a custom, like just saying. But if you go on Twitter, just make sure to type in Bagsy, right, and follow this guy. This amazing guy. That's all, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you stay safe. Hope you enjoy that. This was Crypto on premium webinar for you guys. God bless you. Cheers. Love you. Bye.
Beaxy is an easy-to-use cryptocurrency exchange. Get verified in minutes. Buy and sell popular cryptocurrencies on a safe, compliant, insured U.S. exchange. Enjoy everything you need in one place. A two-way ramp for major currencies, credit and debit card support, an industry-leading API, responsive customer support, and a 5-star mobile app. Love your primary cryptocurrency exchange? If not, make the switch to Beaxy today. Visit Beaxy by clicking the link in the description.
I'd like to thank our listeners for joining this episode of The Nest Show. Again, we want to thank our sponsors at Prime XBT for their support of the show and for their support of our listeners. Once again, after signing up to trade at thebirbnest.com/PrimeXBT, be sure to follow up on the announcement channel of our Discord and learn how to capitalize on their generous trading bonus offer that they've exclusively made available to our community. If you've appreciated the depth and breadth of what you've heard with us today, subscribe to our podcast and find our landing page at thebirbnest.com. We have a vibrant Discord community which acts as our central hub of operations, and we welcome you to join us at thebirbnest.com/Discord. We also offer an extensive free bulletin on emerging crypto market trends, exclusive undervalued gem reports, and in-depth expert technical and fundamental analysis at thebirbnest.com/bulletin. We always appreciate engagement from our community, which of course means liking the video and subscribing to our page, where we insist on bringing you the highest quality content available. Also, we're happy to incorporate tips and topics from our listeners and encourage you to email us at thenestshow@thebirbnest.com. This podcast is brought to you by the Birb Nest. Thank you, and trade on.